Welcome to the Hostinger to Framer series, and here you're going to learn tips, tricks, and everything that I grasped in a couple of months just dealing with issues, bugs, and whatever. You're going to love it or hate it. I'm going to show you everything raw. So enjoy, follow, like, subscribe, and start the show.
So, very easy. This is how it's actually shown within the Hostinger website. So you have a mobile and you have a desktop version. And it's very easy to use. They've got a great feature where you can actually have multiple websites, in one payment. So that's something that's attractive if you just start out, or if you plan to do lots of basic websites. In this particular case, you can see that I've got different pages that I can access. I can access them also here from the location. Now, one thing to bear in mind is what Hostinger needs to work on is the reusable section. So the section on the bottom, whenever you make changes, you might find yourself having to make changes across all other pages, but you also have here website styles. So from animations, from buttons, from fonts, colors. This is what you can currently kind of customize. They also have an AI feature, but the website and platform, it's super simple, super intuitive, super easy to use, of course, with some limitations. Now, in this case, here is one of the custom CSS where I added a simple section. Um, and within the section, I added here from an elements, you can select an embed code. And this embed code, if I look at entering the code, this is an HTML with JavaScript, CSS included. So this includes the CSS style within it for it. It includes the JavaScript and all wrapped in within the HTML. Um, and this was done in such a way such that it also works on mobile. So there is a mobile class which is somewhere here on the top, believe. Around the text area so that it performs similar when you go in a mobile. So you can see here mobile adjustment for cards, and then if you go mobile, this is how it switches to mobile automatically. And then if you press on preview, we can see kind of how it looks on the phone. We can scroll, we can interact with it. So this is all the custom CMS that I was able to build very quickly in Hostinger for my own needs, and something that can be done pretty quickly for any other websites, when you've got experience and you've been used to using the Hostinger system. Okay, so let's get going. I'm actually trying to copy this web page that I've got in Framer. Let me stop this for a second. So this is my web page in Hostinger or Fusion, and I'm going to try to copy paste it in Framer so that I can easily switch providers and then press pop. All right, so let's press add to Chrome. Let's add the extension. Perfect. Think it's added here, so now I can have it here. Let's see when I pin it where it appears. So in here on the right top side, which is quite cool, quite useful. Or I can also have it when I scroll over. So let's go to our Fusion. So here is the version that I've got free, and I've activated here the clipboard, so I don't need to deal about anything. I don't care about the language. Cool. So it should be Control S, Control V now, having had that. Let's see how I can easily switch. So a control like that, very easily switch. So I care about going to the website. Okay, so let's activate this one. Publish. So I have got here on the right side now the plugin, which is very easy. And here it tells me whatever I look at, what type of layout it will copy, including if I've got button and text and a layout again, and however it's sorted in Hostinger. And I need to let this is CSS, for instance, so it's an element. I've used many tricks to get this going in Hostinger as I wanted. So one of them, if I now switch here, is you will notice that the top part is not good. And that's because in Hostinger, I was not able to play really well with how much it came into the top to the navbar. So in here, what I will do right now is, yes, the image is fill, but I will drag and drop it so that it's more closer to what I have on desktop. Maybe I'll even improve it. Let's leave it like this for now. Maybe I'll even do a 3D later on. So perfect. I've got this one. Let's add a breakpoint for phone. Let's actually add one for tablet as well. But let's make sure. Um, Let me delete those actually. Let's have them in row, not custom, which is cool though. So I have them here, set up set up like so. But I'm just focusing on the desktop version for now. So let's continue with copy pasting. So in this sense, I'll be copy pasting, let's say, I want this entire layout, honestly, if I can. Let's see if it lets me. So I'm on the desktop and I'm adding it on top. So you can see here, it clearly copied it as a stack, which is wonderful. Though I've got them as betas, team services, and this is a frame and this is another frame in itself. So definitely I need to do some adjustments, but I'm quite happy with how easily I can copy it from one to another. So let's try to copy, let's say just this layout. Let's see what that actually does. So if I press Ctrl V, it's zoomed in. I've got another stack, it looks like, or an icon with this part. So if I select these ones, let's say, and press delete, I will still have mine here. So not much change, but I can definitely look at linking these later on with a proper link. Okay. Next one, let's try to copy this entire layout. I hope that will work. So it stretched the part a bit. So it did copy, I think, the frame in itself. So let me put here. Can I? Yeah, so this is what's happening, which is very interesting. So if I go to the desktop and if I add a new layer, so if I put this on top, it's still within desktop, but it's fine. I'll have it here. So it's outside, but I want it within the desktop area. So let's have it here. And, let's have everything as a stack as well. So let's tag, everything here. Let's do top parent. No, that's not what I wanted. But you get the gist. I can now continue and I'll press it here. Copy paste from here. I can hold multiple ones. So what's interesting is I've got one copy. I'll copy this. I'll copy the third, the fourth, and the fifth. So let's see now what happens when I go on desktop and it's all copied. So what I don't really like is this extension. I think of the whole desktop, I should make it bigger, definitely. And then the copy paste features, it seems to be a bit of a more challenge when you have, you've pushed the limits of what Hostinger was able to do, and now you've got them into what Framer can do. So now here is where Framer for me comes into play. I'm, by the way, presenting you here this new website through Arc, which is an incredible browser. What I love it for is that it can be very minimalistic and it has search functions like in Apple. It's more, it's more suitable for designers and tech users for that reason. Also has like full width left to right, similar to Edge, of course, but other things like sections, so I can move in between types very easily. But right now I'm on design. So I'm going to show you the process that I am using to change from to change from Hostinger to Framer. So I've got a Framer here, and then I've got my Hostinger website here, and I've got a plugin that I can always turn on and off, and it allows me to immediately copy layouts. So you can already see this is actually so much easier. So let's say I want to copy the image that sits as a background, and I am in desktop. So first let's add a layout, and then let's leave it stack, direction bottom top, distribute start will be fine. We'll not do wrap, we'll put a gap of 0 for now, padding of 0 for now. So let's add now a new frame within here actually, which will be my copy pasted frame. So one thing I can clearly see is it definitely changed my desktop variant. So let me move this across a little bit. So I still want my desktop to be in 1300. So let's move this back, and let's move the frame. Let's make the frame itself in layout. Let's have it itself as a stack, and then I can change further. So you can already see some of the issues I've encountered with Hostinger, because in Hostinger, if I go backwards here, I've got the same image, but you can see how it stays clearly. Now that's because I had to add extra layer on top to make all of this work. And if you look at the header, right, if I make it sticky, not sticky, but let's say if I have, I go here, if I scroll to the right side, if I go to style, if I, let's say, have a non-transparent, it will move the image down, you can see. So I had to play with things like this and how much space to put in the image to actually show, because the moment I edit the section lower, you can see how it pushes and I still have some space. And you might ask yourself, why will I do that? Well, it's because when I go on the phone, it will show like so. So let's go back to Framer, and for now I'm just going to continue with this process to copy paste my website from Hostinger to Framer very easily. And I'll continue with each section by section. Another limitation that I really want to speak of in terms of Hostinger. So another limitation that I really want to speak of in terms of Hostinger is you don't have styles that represent navigations, or don't represent, for instance, the header remains the same across everywhere. I can't change that, but I can't have a footer that is the same, or I can't easily copy this section. So if I try to press Control C, if I go to, let's say I go to the web. No, let's go to a different website. Let's go to Contact Us, and let's say I want to add it here. If I press Control V, you can see it doesn't paste it. So you have, very annoyingly, to either build this and edit them by hand with every change, or you have to make changes to, let's say, a main page and then duplicate that. But if you have changes across time, like for me, I've got changes in this page. If I now delete this, right, and I want it to represent it across all other areas, I have to go and delete it across all other areas, which is honestly a pain in the ass. And it consumes so much time. I wish Hostinger will add this feature a lot sooner within the styles, because you can only have fonts, buttons, but not components or not sections. This is another big reason I don't like Hostinger anymore, and I don't want to use it for my clients or my future projects, at least until it gets better in certain key criteria.
Thank you for watching. Let me know down in the comments what you want to see next, and especially down the line of the progress. And I don't know what else to say.